Hello. On this edition of MTA Commuter Connections, we'll speak with MTA's new Chief Operations Officer, Ronald Barnes, about transit in our region and his new job as MTA's COO. ArtScape and the African American Festival are two of the area's most exciting events. Both mark the start of summer fun in Maryland, and we'll have information on these popular attractions. Plus, we've got your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment, right here. I'm Paulette Austrich. Welcome to MTA Commuter Connections. On recent editions of this program, we've talked to Secretary of Transportation Jim Smith and MTA Administrator Robert Smith about their and Governor O'Malley and Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown's vision for transit in Maryland. On this program, we're pleased to introduce you to the individual responsible for ensuring the administration's vision is implemented in the day-to-day operations of the MTA. He's MTA's new Chief Operations Officer, Ronald Barnes, and we welcome him to the MTA and Commuter Connections. Hello, Ronald. How are you?
Hi, thank you.
For our viewers, give us some insight into just what the job MTA Chief Operations Officer entails.
Well, as Chief Operating Officer, I'm responsible for the day-to-day operation for the various modes of Metro, LRT, light rail service, and the over 700 bus vehicles that we operate day-to-day, and the paratransit services, which we call mobility.
Your experience in transit is quite impressive. What was your background before getting here? What were your last two career stops before MTA?
Well, very exciting. I worked in the private sector. I worked for a private management firm that managed the Phoenix metropolitan area. I was the regional vice president for the Southwest region, responsible for approximately about a $500 million portfolio, managing Phoenix, systems in Texas, and some as far as Denver. And from there, I went to work for a small consulting firm out of London, England, and we were primarily focusing on high-speed rail, and that's where I truly understood the true benefit of public transit, and really when we talk about community builders, how and what role transit plays in making livable communities.
Sure, well, wow, you're an international transit expert. My goodness. What were your immediate impressions upon arriving at the MTA?
Well, first of all, prior to getting here, I was very impressed the fact that, I haven't been chair of the American Public Transportation Association. We've always wanted to get our political officials, governmental officials, really focusing on transit and getting them to understand the true role of public transportation. And then when reading that our governor and this administration set out a goal of doubling ridership, I'm saying, man, this is the place you want to be. You finally get somewhere people truly understand how important public transportation, but more importantly, access for all is.
What are some of the ideas that you have for transit in the region?
Well, consistent with the Bus Network Improvement Program, what I see is really focusing on our foundation, starting to look at from the organizational structure, looking at our policies, looking at how we deliver services in the various modes. For example, making sure that our what we may call service delivery monitors have technology, being able, transit has always been a high-tech environment, but yet we wouldn't release our data to the general public, the people who used us. Now you're seeing more and more systems are going to apps, going to smartphones. Well, we're saying let's start to get that data into the hands of our service monitors, that they can see exactly what's going on all over the region, right from their vehicle or right from a street corner, right from their iPad, for an example. Getting that type of technology so everyone, not just me saying we're going to be safe and convenient and on-time reliable, but our monitors have that information available. Starting to look at how we bring people into the organization, how we are training them with the focus of being community, customer focus driven, and building the organization from that perspective and making sure everyone understands how important that passenger is to us and what we mean to that passenger, getting them where they need to go. The other is the state has always had this, I won't say always, but they have what we call state stats, a great concept for truly monitoring the performance of what goes on in the state. What we're hoping to do and will be doing is bringing that to the lowest level of organization. Every employee should know how efficient or not efficient that we are, and bringing that data down so that the operators know how important their role is, the mechanics know that getting an efficient vehicle out on the street and they're being able to monitor and having that information available, and what the standards are that we're going to be held accountable for. So the whole idea of accountability, those are the three things that we're going to be bringing: focusing on the people, focusing on our strategies and tactics, and then our delivery abilities.
Wow. Well, it's wonderful to have you here at the MTA and on Commuter Connections. You've picked an exciting time to join the MTA.
This is a very exciting time.
Thank you again. Coming up next, MTA's Your Best Ride to one of our region's most popular summertime events, ArtScape. Stay with us.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
Persuasive.
yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
One of our region's most popular summertime events is ArtScape. Artists, entertainers, vendors, and visitors from around the country converge on the Mount Royal area of Baltimore to take part in the largest art festival and celebration of the arts in the country. Tracy Baskerville of the Baltimore Office of Promotion and the Arts joins us with a look at some of the fun and exciting things on tap for this year's event. Hello, Tracy. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Well, for those that may not know, the few, what is ArtScape?
ArtScape, as you mentioned, is America's largest free arts festival celebrating the performing and the visual arts. So not just a celebration when you come out, I think a lot of people think of the entertainment on the stages, but visual arts too. So from crafts, the things people make, from the artist market to exhibitions indoor and out. So just a real celebration of all types of arts in every type of form.
Well, you touched on it a little bit, but for somebody that's never been to ArtScape, paint a picture for us. What can they expect to see?
Well, when you come to ArtScape, it's just a fun time in the city. Just imagine we do, as you mentioned, right along Mount Royal Avenue, but then also Charles Street. So we fill up these streets we have our artist market, and that's probably where we can have that one-on-one experience with an artist. And what they're doing, they're selling a lot of things they make, from everything from jewelry to fiber. So you can talk to the artist, you can purchase their wares. And because when we do the artist market, it's juried. So we make sure we have a jury, and they go through and they review the applications, and that we make sure that the artists are making what they're selling, and we try and have a good mix of things. So not only artists from Baltimore, but from Maryland and then from across the country too. So you'll see those lining the streets, all of these booths, and then you'll see the outdoor stages, and then there are also things to do inside as well, inside the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall, inside Theater Project, inside Brown Center, so there are things to do inside as well.
Wow, that's great. I don't think a lot of people know about the insides.
I know, that's my big thing. I try to tell people every year. People will just walk down the street and they're like, what else is there to see? I'm like, there's so many things to see. We're doing dance inside the Lyric, inside the Charles Theater. There's film, so you don't have to stay outside the whole time. There are things to do inside, and bring the family and the kids. If they need to cool off, they can go in and they can see a show. And because Artscape, it's a good mix of the arts. So when we say theater, we talk about opera. We talk about doing performance. So if you want to expose your child to an opera performance or theater performance, and they can come in and they can get a taste of it by seeing the show, and you could do it all for free. So you get to see different performances in a great way, again, to introduce your family to the arts.
What a great idea. That's wonderful. Now, when will it take place?
It is July 18th, 19th, and 20th, again, right around Mount Royal and Charles Street. So it's always the third weekend in July.
That's good to remember. And I know you kind of mentioned it, but where exactly will the event be staged?
So we're right around, I guess, right in the heart of, we talk about Mount Royal, so it's right there where the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall is, and then also right near Penn Station, so Charles Street. So from Charles Street up to almost North Avenue. So Station North area to Bolton Hill.
Now, how long has Artscape existed?
This is the 33rd year of Artscape. So yeah, it's been going on for 33 years, and we hope to do more each year. And we always try and change it each year, so when you come to the festival, that it's not always the same. So I know everyone always wants to know, they usually want to ask who our big name entertainers are. So we try and always keep a mix when you look at the schedule. So there's something for everyone, from jazz to rock to international. As far as the outdoor stages, that there's something a little bit for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. It's never the same. It's never the same. It's always different. How did this event come to be?
It came about many years ago when they were trying to, I think it was the community, then it was then Mayor Schaefer, and it was the Mayor's Advisory Committee on Art and Culture actually were the producers of the festival, and they were thinking of a way to really showcase especially the artists in Baltimore, and it's expanded since then, and that was the idea that came about. And they picked the area again because of the richness in the neighborhood, with the Maryland Institute College of Art right there, and the University of Baltimore right there too, and just all those venues was the perfect sort of place to do Artscape.
Yeah, it really is. How many people are you expecting this year?
We know, usually based on a survey that we did a few years ago, that we get over 300,000 people over the course of the weekend.
What entertainment is on tap for this year's Artscape?
So this year we have Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. She's leading off our entertainment this year, along with Anthony Hamilton, great soul urban performer, Oza Motley, and Galactic too. So those are our big name headliners for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then throughout the weekend on the stages, everyone from the Almighty Senators to a lot of the local bands too. So a lot of times this is a great venue for the local and regional bands.
Yeah, to get noticed and to get that attention. That's fantastic. Is admission to Artscape free?
It is free, which goes back to when we talk about it, it's America's largest arts festival, and it's a free arts festival, because when we looked at festivals throughout the country, that there's always some component where you have to pay something. If you go indoors, you have to pay something. So this, no matter where you go, when we talk about the things inside, when we work with the BSO and we do the films with the Maryland Film Festival and your Inside Theater Project, or your whatever you're watching, everything is free. So that's really what makes it unique, and that's why one of the things we depend on our sponsors to help us. And for our main stage this year, it's MEA, the Maryland Energy Administration. So for them to come in and help keep the festival free.
Yeah.
It's very
Thank
important.
You for that.
Yes.
Thank you,
we have to
and
thank
your sponsors, because that's phenomenal. I have to ask, what's the best way to get to Artscape?
Well, of course, the best way is MTA, because you have the light rail, which stops right in the middle of the festival, and you can't beat that. So you can get off right in the middle of the festival. You can go north or south on Mount Royal, or you can head over to Charles Street. So that is the best way to get there. And then also the MTA, the Metro, is not too far away. The State Center stop is not too far away, so you can get there and just walk over.
It really could
be
more convenient.
Yes, it is, and I don't think too many festivals around the country have that right in the middle. You have the light rail, and you can stop and you can get out and just start having fun at the festival.
And one last time, what's the date and time of the?
It's July 18th, 19th, and 20th, and we go until 9 p.m. at night. We start at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Great. Well, I look forward to it. I really do. It's going to be wonderful.
Thank you. We're
So
looking
good
forward
seeing
to it.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
In addition to ArtScape, there's another extremely popular event our region enjoys each and every year. It's the African American Festival, and we'll take a look at what's being planned for this exciting annual event next. Stay with us.
I wish I was in school.
If only I had a math test today.
I'll stay after class.
I'll clean the chalkboard.
I wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local Feeding America food bank for help.
Hey, Mom. Did you take your medicine?
Oh, gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse. You need a claim number? Her personal assistant. Let me just grab a... Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together, we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
One of the annual events which signals the start of the summer season in this region is the African American Festival. It's an exciting family fun event which offers the best in culture, food, and entertainment. There's a lot in store for this year's festival, and Shalonda Stokes of the African American Festival joins us with a look at this year's event. Hello, Shalonda.
Hello there. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. When is the African American Festival this year?
This year it's actually moved up earlier than it has been the past couple years, so it's June 21st and 22nd this year.
Okay, and where will it be held?
It's held at the same place, the Camden Yard Sports and Entertainment Complex, which is the 16 acres in between M&T Bank Stadium and Camden Yards.
Well, I think you may have just kind of answered my next question. They say that location is extremely important. How important is it to have the festival staged downtown at the Oriole Park location?
Location. You're right. It's very important because that area is the central hub from people coming in, you know, all up and down the East Coast. We have the airport close by, and for economic impact, you have all of the hotels, restaurants, and businesses downtown. So it's a phenomenal location to have this event.
Oh, that's great. What's the cost?
Oh my God, it is absolutely free again this year.
Wow.
Yeah, Madam Mayor Rawlings Blake wanted to make sure it remained a benefit for the citizens, and so she keeps it free. And it's also, I think, a phenomenal tourist attraction for us, so it is free.
That's incredible, because it is a lot of food. And
It's a lot. It is, but we've only been able to really keep it free, I think, with the city's commitment and then the help of our sponsors. We have some tremendous sponsors, one of which this year is huge for us. They're coming in as the presenting sponsor, which is Pepsi. And so we are asking people when they come this year, because we don't allow outside food and beverage, to you know, leave the coolers, leave all of that stuff at home, and support our sponsors, because that's how we're really able to keep it free.
It makes it easier.
It really does.
Hassle-free.
Hassle-free.
Now, you don't have to ask you this. What's the best way to get to the festival?
Oh my God, is there any other way? Leave the cars at home, right? We want people to come in on MTA. We want them to light rail in. We want them to come in on the mark. We have a lot of people coming from DC, you know, the buses, any way that they can come in, because it is some parking, but really it's a much easier trip if people come in through public transportation.
Well, aside from the entertainment, which we'll get to in a minute, what else will people find at the festival this year?
What won't they find? It's everything. It's our tag is a celebration of life, music, and culture, because you have Visit Baltimore actually doing some really exciting giveaways and pictures, like photo booth experiences that are happening there. We have in the Pepsi Pavilion, we have this thing that we're doing. Some of it we're not announcing that, so you'll be the first to know, but doing some great pitch competitions for entrepreneurs and different things like that. We have a beauty bar, which is doing makeovers, beauty makeovers for men and women. We have a health and wellness pavilion, which does testing, dances, all of the fitness and all of that. And what you'll be excited about, I know based on some of your history, is we have a tent called STEM Nation, which focuses on science, technology, engineering, and math. That's just some of it. Sports, we have LeVar Arrington. They're doing like a really great experience with football in partnership with Under Armour. And then Dynamic Healthcare is doing a really exciting children's zone. So, I mean, that's just the tip. It's something for everybody. We want people to literally get there early. We open at noon. And on Saturday close at 10, so we want them to be there from noon to 10. So plan the whole day.
Take it all in.
Yep.
How many people does the event draw, and from where?
We last year, and the fire department helps give us our numbers. Last year, I think it was reported we had 352,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Right, which is amazing, and that's over the 2-day period. And they're coming from everywhere, all up and down the East Coast. And this year, what's more exciting, and why we think the reach is going to be even further, Black Enterprise came in as our presenting partner. And so, you know, Black Enterprise has the magazine, they have online, they have the television component. And so that's how we've really been able to garner that national reach and exposure. So this year, I don't know where they're coming from. Yeah,
wow,
it's all over. We're excited about it.
Now you got to get back to the entertainment.
Okay.
What type of entertainment has the festival featured over the years?
It's been a mix, and we've had everybody. I know last year, Patti LaBelle, Fantasia. We've had, I mean, just the whole mix, and that's what I love about the festival. We have 3 stages of entertainment, and so we have, you know, that main stage where we normally have the headliners that everybody comes out to see. But what's exciting, we have an emerging artist stage, which is great, and that has that up-and-coming talent. And this year, our up-and-coming talent had to still have a presence, have a huge following. And then we have a culture stage, so you get that sort of unplugged music, the jazz, you get that whole mix of music from around the globe.
All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for.
The drum roll.
Right. Who's going to be featured this year as the entertainment?
Right. This year, it's really exciting because unlike the other years, you would just wait till the end of the day to get to the headliner. We have talent that's coming on all day. So we're opening up with our talent, opening up on Saturday with Jacob Lattimore. I don't know if you know him from Black Nativity. And so this is something for our youth to really get him out. You have Jacob Lattimore and Aaron Fresh, and we're doing something in partnership with the school system to reward the kids, you know, so that they can come out and be a part and take part in his show. We have, following Jacob Lattimore, we have Chico DeBarge, we have Monifa, we have Mint Condition, and on Sunday, we're bringing gospel back. For a couple of years, we had gone away from, so we brought gospel back, which is really exciting.
That's great.
So we're gonna have X Music, The Advocate, Choir Boys, and then headlining for the gospel segment is Dietrich Haddon from the Preachers of LA.
Oh, wow.
And that's gonna be hosted by our very own Pastor Jamal Bryant, and presented by Lee Michaels and Heaven 600. So that part is exciting.
Wow.
Then we still didn't get to that evening where we have our homegrown Mario, Johnny Gill, and Brandy.
Oh my gosh.
So it's going to be full pack all day long. We want it, and that's just on that stage. That's not even mentioning the other stages.
That's amazing. I love the idea of having entertainment sort of
all
staggered throughout.
Yeah.
Where can people get more information? Is there a phone number or website for info?
No, both. Definitely, we're encouraging everybody to visit the website, and that's AfricanAmericanFestival.net. And our phone number is 410-244-8861 if they need more information.
Wow. Well, thank you, Shalonda.
Thank you.
I hope I'll find you somewhere.
Oh,
at the
no,
festival
definitely.
When I
You
go,
have to find
I'll look
us
for
there.
you. Wow. That sounds like a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The MTA recently teamed up with 2 of its regional partners to reunite student poetry and art on transit through the annual Words on Wheels student poetry competition.
Some of the best student poets in the Baltimore City school system recently teamed up with some of our region's best college artists in the creation and design of transit car cards that proudly display student poetry on MTA buses. It's all part of MTA's annual Words on Wheels student poetry competition.
Calm down. Be quiet. It's going to work out. The quiet, still forest, cool breeze through the water, soft music through your ears. It's your happy place.
My hopes and aspirations are my twinkle in the star. My scars are like teachers showing me the wrong, taking me back to the yellow brick road. My hopes and aspirations are my drive. Like gravity, something will bring me down. But I stand strong like a rock. My hopes and aspirations will be seen.
Here I go again. I'm like a fish, just swimming, then I'm being added to a new school of fish. Now, I'm stuck in a net, moving to some strange place, creatures continuing to stare. I didn't want to be a bird, meeting others, befriending them, then vanishing, flying away.
Baltimore City school students put pen to paper to create poems which are judged in a citywide competition. The very best of the poems are selected for inclusion and display on MTA car cards. This year's entries were from hundreds of students, but only the best were selected for inclusion.
Towering above me, the mountain casts a dark blanket over the world, miles and miles on end. Ahead is my history, my present, my future, my destiny, my life. It taunts me with its size and mocks me with its firm grip on the earth. Gathering my confidence, I move forward. The clouds brush against my feet, and the wind howls in my ears. I have made my history, changed my future, met my destiny, and lived my life. I have succeeded.
For more than a decade, the MTA has collaborated with Baltimore City Schools and the Maryland Institute College of the Art, MICA, to celebrate poetry and art on transit. The 12 winners of the 2014 Words on Wheels poetry competition, students ranging from grades 3 through 11, were honored at this special April presentation held at MTA's Washington Boulevard facility. Transit riders and commuters can catch these winning Words on Wheel poem cards on MTA buses throughout the year.
Coming up next, your customer questions and concerns in our Ask the MTA segment. Stay with us.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Well, have you tried saving?
Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back. MTA Manager of Systems Engineering, Tammy Bolden, joins us to answer a few MTA customer questions and concerns. Hello, Tammy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Wonderful. So, Tammy, what do you have for us today?
We have a couple of questions about bus schedules, the light rail schedule, and a really good question about the red line construction. And the first question is?
MTA, why can't we use a cell phone on the subway?
In actuality, you can use your cell phone above ground from Owens Mills to Cold Spring Station. However, once you start to go underground, starting from Mondawmin, there's no communications infrastructure underground to accommodate cell phone use. But this is something we are considering in the future. Next question.
When do the earliest light rail train run during weekdays? Thank you.
The light rail service during the weekdays, we do run from 5 a.m. to midnight. On Saturdays, we run from 6 a.m. to midnight. On Sundays, we run from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. But the train services do vary per station. So I would suggest that you go on MTA's website and download the schedule for your convenience. Next question.
I had a question regarding the red line. I was wondering, when will construction plans for that begin? And also when it is constructed, where will the red line start and end?
That is a great question, and we're really excited about the red line construction. In our actuality, the red line construction will begin in 2016 with a completion date in 2022. And we're really looking forward to it. Next question.
Why is there a lack of an accurate time schedule with regards to the buses, at least within a 3-minute time frame?
I would like to note that the published timetables for bus schedules are estimated times. And while we do our very best to make those estimated times as close to reality as possible, we also experience unforeseen conditions such as inclement weather, traffic congestions, etc. So it does cause the MTA buses to be delayed. And if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. Please visit us on Facebook, Twitter, or MTA's website.
That brings us to the end of another Commuter Connections program. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Take care.